Hi, my name is Patrick, and today we're going to be going over the latest update for Tabletop Simulator. This is the 10.9.2 update, and what it offers for us today is some new user interface options for virtual reality. So we're going to start off and take a look at our controllers, and right off the bat you can see that they make it much easier to tell what it is that you can do by giving you pointers or identifiers for buttons. So let's go ahead and just kick off the tutorial here by clicking the tutorial. And we're going to start right off. So I'm going to skip ahead in what it lets you do a little bit by going ahead and moving things around. So if you hit the grip buttons on the side of the controller here, you immediately get a full menu of options that become available. And one of those options is moving. And if we use both controllers at the same time, we can scale. So I'm going to scale the whole thing down a little bit, move it away from me, and then scale it back up and kind of set it right down here so that it's a lot easier for me to interact with. And in this manner, they've already improved it like 100% because it's way easier now to set things so that they're comfortable for the player and make it so that you can move things in, out, or around, because previously you were kind of tied to a specific position when you were playing the game. So we're just going to step through the tutorial now. We're going to go ahead and pick up this item by pressing the trigger, and then we can flip it using the top button here, and then drop it on the stack of cards. Then we can pull a single card out and put it in our hand, and I'm going to go ahead and scoot back a little bit so I can more easily interact with my hand. And then let's go ahead and grab the whole deck of cards by holding down and moving, and we shuffle by shaking. We'll go ahead and put that back down. And then if we hover and we click the right hand button, we roll dice. That's really easy. And by the way, you can do this with either hand. It doesn't matter which one you use. And then, as I noted earlier, you can easily shift around by moving this way and dragging ourselves around. We can really get a move on. We can even go to a completely different seat on the table if we want to. And as noted now in the tutorial, you can use both grip buttons at the same time and zoom in, zoom out, rotate the whole display. So if I wanted to rotate things away from me, I could, like that, and then zoom in and really get like a table level view, or zoom out and get a really far away view. And we can reset by hitting that menu button and holding it down for a few seconds. That'll reset our view. And I actually want to scale it back away from me and then scale it up and down like that, because I kind of like this size right here. The next thing we're going to do is we can go ahead and grab items. If we touch an item and then touch the bottom of the controller, we get a nice view. And you don't have to click it, you just have to touch it. We're going to let that go. And then we can grab an object, and when it's grabbed, we can rotate it using the top left or top right buttons, and we can flip it upside down as well. And each of these buttons here will change contextually based on what you're doing. So you'll notice right now it gives me a flick option. I can flick something by doing this and then clicking the trigger. I can flick the dice, or I can grab the dice and move them away or towards me. I can click it to move the dice. I can click this to flick items. So as you can see, the contextual menus are a lot better than what they used to be. We can grab multiple items by clicking, holding down, and dragging across them, and then picking them up like that, which makes it a lot easier to interact with multiple items on the menu. And then our context menu will basically deal cards, name objects, color, tint, etc., etc. Those are all based on the items over here. So we hold down our center of our item, and we can click at each of these items. Now there's a bit of a disadvantage here in that it's a little difficult to read this text at a distance. You can, I noticed, bring it in by clicking here, and it kind of shrinks it down in front of you, but it's a little easier to see on the wall in some respects. So this still remains a bit of a pain point over here, is that you can't easily interact with a lot of these items because the text can be difficult to read at a distance. So we can do this, we can grab items, we can put a line on the table, and using that, we'll draw our line or something like that. Let's see if I can draw my line. So I can draw lines, measures distance like that. I can grab objects, which is our default, that kind of thing. And let's see, I still haven't been able to get the flicking working correctly because it changes. I guess flick. As soon as I point at something, it changes. So flick, flick. no flicking for me. Now, let's see, and press pad center on an object to bring it up. Okay, and now we've just exploded the whole table. Last thing we're going to do is we are going to flip the whole table by looking up at our menu and woo, ever popular flipping of the table. So that's it for our basic tutorial. We can go back to the main menu by clicking the menu button and then clicking main menu. And yes, we want to do that. So it's much easier now to get around in Tabletop Simulator than it was previously in virtual reality. You're no longer tied to a seat. The controls are much better. You can scale things for comfort, and it's way easier to play than it previously was. And I want to give props to Berserk Games for their work on continually improving the user interface for this game. Thanks so much for watching.